Luke Tanaka here with Elmhurst men's basketball coach John Baines. And coach, a 1-1 week started with lost Augustana, another top 10 battle. When I was watching on the live stream, I looked at it said 47-47 at half, and that shocked I'm sure a lot of people, more so than just me. So what was the message in the locker room when you're tied at 47, which usually we see with maybe 10 minutes to go in the second half?
Sure. Usually we expect a kind of a defensive battle, and normally that might be the score with about 4 or 5 minutes left. But we played well offensively. We made some adjustments from the first time we played them, and so did they. And they usually shoot the ball really well at their place. And so both teams were really playing well offensively. And we were, at halftime, we just tried to make some adjustments defensively. And I think what happened in our second half was they just got to the line on us too much, and then that's where we kind of got our hole and we couldn't dig out of it.
Even though it was a loss, the fact that you were able to score so many points and with an offense that had been struggling a little, maybe caught a little bit of a valley, do you now think that you're starting to rise back towards the peak again on offense?
Yeah, the guys are starting to shoot the ball a little bit better. And we made a couple of adjustments with how we're running our stuff. Some coaches are really always a little worried this time of year to make major changes, but if it's not working, you got to change some things. And so we didn't throw out everything, but we're putting some wrinkles in here and there, and so hopefully the second time around the league, some things people won't see, maybe it'll help us out a little bit.
The bench really stepped up. It was pretty much the five starters from both sides the first matchup, and then this matchup, both teams got a combined 54 bench points with you leading it 30-24. Eric Leonard was 16. So how important was it for the bench to play so well in a game of that magnitude once again?
Sure. Both Augie and ourselves have good benches. We both play our benches also, which is from a coaching standpoint. It's good to see with our guys, but that's not surprising to me. Leo has had some really good games this year. Buena Vista, he had a great game whenever Pat got injured. A guy like Kenny Payak, Schwebke has been a starter. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that are capable of starting for other teams off of our bench, so we try to utilize it, and whenever they're playing well, it really helps us.
What's the biggest thing you're going to take from this matchup against Augustana, perhaps going forward in the CCIW schedule?
I don't know if what we take from it. We split with them, I guess, is what we take from it. We're in the race. I don't think that to losing at North Central and losing at Augustana takes you out of anything. And, we're right there. We obviously at this point now need some help since we don't play with Augie again. But if they take a loss, we have the opportunity to still win the league. So right now it's still on us. We still have to win. And I'm not sure that I would take anything other than it's two good teams playing that split.
The thrashing of Milliken on Saturday, 85-56. Is this almost like a statement game for you, despite Milliken's place in the standings after losing two straight?
Statement might be a strong word, but I would tell you that from a defensive standpoint, we really I would buckle down. We'd given up against North Park and North Central and Augie, three very good teams. We'd given up over 80 in all three of those games, and that's not who we are. We have to guard some people, and we have to board. And, we really, I made an effort of making sure that was going to happen, and the guys really responded.
On the offensive end of the floor, Kenny Payank had a career-high 16 points, and he's been ultra-efficient this year, and it showed on Saturday. 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. What's the key to him being so efficient on the offensive end of the floor?
He's got a very good mid-range game. He shoots that shot, that pick-and-pop shot really well. His low post game has really improved over the whole year. We went to Greece this summer, and you could start to see that was really starting to be a focus of his game. And sometimes I have to yell at him to shoot. He's a really unselfish guy, and he's like, "Oh, coach, I'm just going to come in and do my thing." And so Will got in foul trouble, and I think he just kind of knew that he was out there, and we were throwing him the ball. And the thing I like to see is that here's a bench guy who comes in, and our players were like, get Kenny the ball, and that shows a lot of unselfishness, and I think it also shows a lot of respect for a lot of the guys on our bench that you're taking guys. Kyle Wiest is trying to get the ball to a guy off the bench. I think that really shows a lot of maturity with the group.
And then we talked last week about Eric Crittenden trying to get to the rim, being a little bit more physical. It seemed like he showed some flashes of that on Saturday. What did you see?
Yeah, sometimes with him, with Crit, you just have to tell him to stop thinking, and just take the ball, rip it, and go, and get to the line. And he just, I think, was thinking so much about his game, and teams have scouted him now. He's changed his level of game, and he's starting for us. And I think teams have a plan when they go into games how they're going to guard him. And so I think now we've kind of showed some film, and I think he's got a little bit better feel where he can get his points. And if he gets on the line and gets to the offensive glass, then I think then the rest of the stuff just follows for him.
And you look for sweeps over a couple of teams this week at home, Carthage and Wheaton. We'll start with Carthage. When you went up there, you limited Tony Pierce Jr., who had really taken over their offense in the early goings of the conference schedule, to just 3 points. How do you repeat that kind of performance?
He scores in bunches, so I think probably the biggest thing is in the first 6 or 7 minutes not letting him get off. He's a guy that can go for 4 or 5 like he did up at their place against us, and or he can go for 25. And so we're going to pay a lot of attention to him. Their lineup has been a little fluid lately, so we're not quite sure who's going to be playing the major minutes for him, but we just have to be prepared for a lot of different things. Bosco always kind of throws something at you.
And then you go have here against Wheaton. What's the key in that matchup against the Thunder, a team that always seems to give you trouble regardless of where you play?
Yeah, they're both Carthage and Wheaton. I say this, they're at the bottom of the league in terms of wins. They're not rolling over. These are two teams that are still playing very hard. They're testing both the teams that they're playing, and they've been leading at the half, in a couple of their latest games. So they're very capable of beating us. Wheaton, whenever both teams when we were there shot the ball very poorly, and they were really poorly, and I don't think they're going to shoot like that again. So from a defensive standpoint, we're going to have to limit their shots at the rim and just keep them more as a perimeter team. And then on our end, hopefully we can shoot the ball a little bit better than we did last time we played them also.
Sounds good. Enjoy the stay at home this week, and thank you for joining me here.
Appreciate it, Luke.